Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Benefits Cooldown. I'm Eric Silverman. That has been, and always will be the one, the only Ed Legande from the Southern California area. But this guy's national. Everybody knows it. He's everywhere. Hey, Ed, what's up, man?
How you doing, buddy? You having a good summer?
Oh, man, I'm living the dream. Just came back from a big family slash employee team member vacation. And, it's interesting because I was curious your opinion. You and I have talked over the last many months about a lot of things, but some of the topics have included mental health and wellness and staying sharp and not being burnt or not getting burnt out. And a lot of it we've talked about from a business owner or an HR perspective, an HR professional perspective. But what about us in the industry? What about fellow colleague partners and solution providers and brokers and advisors like us and consultants? Does that advice apply to us as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially, throughout this pandemic, we've been talking about how, the role of the advisor has grown so significantly. I mean, if you just, go back in time a bit, go back 10 years, 15 years, the amount of things that brokers need to know and do and be a partner for has significantly grown. Right. And then, the amount of things that we need to know at the end of the day are just consistently growing more and more as well. And so, we're finding that it's just easier and easier to have that burnout, right? Where you just feel emotionally exhausted or physically exhausted because you're working hours upon end and trying to be everything to everyone, or try to be a superhero for your clients as much as possible. Even professional athletes need a break, right? And so, I think it's no different than us as business professionals in this arena, especially with the increasing demand. And we talked about how technology plays a huge role into that too. What does that break really look like? Right. So when we talk about taking a break, how many times have you emailed? And I'm guilty of this myself, right? You may text or email me something work related when I'm on vacation, but I respond pretty quickly, right? And it's like, I'm really not taking a break. It's one of those things where you're having a conversation with someone at the table, but they're trying to text and keep eye contact with you. It's the same thing when employees are taking vacation and still on their email, right? And so, even for us as advisors, as we're making recommendations to clients and, some of the recurring trends I've been having in conversations with clients that has to do with PTO and what PTO really means anymore. And how do we navigate that mental health slash burnout at the end of the day. Us here at Nielsen, we have an unlimited PTO policy. And, I enjoy it. I think it's fantastic. And, of course, a lot of organizations have it. I know a lot of technology companies have it as well. But for us, we, especially this year, wanted to kind of put our money where our mouth is, right? We wanted to practice what we preach. And so we set up a system to where when people are, taking that time off, they need to actually disconnect. Right. You were not, no more answering work emails or things of that nature. Truly disconnect, rely on your team to get things done for you. And so that's something that we've been trying to preach from the mountaintops, especially because of the increasing demand that we ourselves are facing. But, and I was actually really encouraged. I emailed one of your teammates over the last week, and I got your bounce back that you were having this trip that you actually mentioned. So, why don't I ask the same thing to you? How do you think it applies to us?
Yeah, well, it's crazy, but it's kind of a double-edged sword because people always preach work ethic and getting the job done no matter what, and all the symbolic things you can talk about. And the reality is, some people are just wired differently. I would say, probably half of the world, if they're not getting paid, they're not working. They have that punch in, punch out mentality. But then there's the other half of the world, like frankly me and maybe you and probably a lot of others, where they're always on, and it's not healthy, it's not good, but they're always on. So what I did was, my team's been working hard for me, and we've been kicking major ass, and I'm having a lot of fun, and hopefully they are too. So I just decided to rent a big old beach house with a pool right on the water in North Carolina. And everybody came, and they invited their husband or wife and their kids, their boyfriend, whatever it is. And we just had a whole week literally at the beach. And admittedly, because we are a small business, we did carve out about an hour every morning where we met as a team just to make sure that we got things done. And we did a little planning. But 95% of the trip was we were off. And even I have emails galore that piled up, and I don't know, I'm not proud of it, but I am proud of it. Like, nothing urgent, no emergencies happened, no clients fired us, nobody had any type of craziness happen. And the world is still rotating on its axis. Things are still moving. So it was very healthy. And I think we had a whole lot of fun. And the team members have told me the same.
And the last thing I'll add there too is, thank you for sharing that. At the end of the day, you just want everyone to bring their best self to work. And
right.
Sometimes you need to take yourself away from it in order to bring your best self back. Right. So
exactly. You're right. And you know what you said earlier, you reminded me of what we talked about a bunch of episodes ago about we're always having new demands put on us. And I call that responsibility creep. So it's never ending. And unless you personally make an effort to stop it and take a break, it's going to break you, quite frankly. So anyway, Ed, appreciate you as always. Anybody watching, listening today, we appreciate you. And as always, stay tuned for next week for another Benefits Cooldown.